delighted to have the privilege of addressing you here today. I believe we have a responsibility to help create a society and a workplace where everyone, and I mean everyone, has a chance to fulfill his or her potential. Now, as a straight white man, I had some clear advantages when I was growing up and beginning my career. But I was a state school kid who got into a top university. And at the time, it was very unusual at my college for students to have working class parents. So I know what it's like to not fit in. Opportunity based on merit is life-changing.
Stuart gets it. Policy does not equal culture, and Stuart has set an amazing culture at HSBC.
This is not just altruism for gay people, but gay people are kind of the canary in the coal mine with regard to authenticity. And in this age of global executives where people actually have to code switch and negotiate among many different cultures, I think that plurality of scripts and allowing people to sort themselves to where they authentically fit is going to be one of the ways of the future.
So different cultures think differently, and that's what diversity is about. Whether it's an LGBT leader, whether men, women, people from different parts of the world. I think that's the whole idea, to get different ways of thinking into the boardroom, into the executive rooms, so that you are more attuned to the diverse stimuli of the market.
So showing to basically the whole organization that this is a place that we allow diverse leaders to be successful.
At Thomson Reuters, over the last year, we've really repositioned some of the teams that we had around the world. So we had diversity teams, we had corporate social responsibility teams. We've brought those together now under one leadership and are focused around corporate responsibility and inclusion. Ultimately, we believe this is going to help us to enhance engagement with our employees, drive productivity, and also innovate for business results.
It's very clear that success to business is really in having diversity and inclusion. And it is very important. And I like the word inclusion in Chinese. It's called 包容. So it's not just include, but it's also accept.
Typically, people spend like 10% of their abilities to just covering. 10% of their ability. We at GE, we care about productivity. And 10% is a huge number for one person to spend covering up him or herself. So that's not right.
Hong Kong is an international city. We need to have the best people in Hong Kong. We need to have the best system in Hong Kong. And we need to have the best human resources policy in our sectors in Hong Kong. And this is also very important for a society of Hong Kong to have equality for all.
When I actually went to an interbank event, somebody who works in my department came up to me and said, "I'm really happy to see a senior leader here. Just one request I have is when you go back to the office, please don't tell anybody that I attended this, because I'm not ready to let anybody know that I'm gay." And I went back to my office and I actually started crying because I felt so upset that somebody would not be able to be himself at work. And when other people don't bring themselves to work, no matter what environment you're working in, you're losing the power of their creativity, the power of their ideas, and the power of their humanity.
A year ago, we at HSBC showed our support for Out on the Street by, as Todd says, changing the evening light show on our iconic Hong Kong headquarters to rainbow colours. And this year, we've lit the halo. Now, signals are incredibly important, but clearly they're not, as Todd says, the cultural change that's needed.
You know, any companies that are thinking that, you know, this is fluffy, this is within the realm of, you know, HR and not a critical business issue, they really need to think twice, because it is very critical and it impacts on a company's performance.
In our industry, I know that you cannot have fear, and that the best leaders actively drive out fear. They look for maximal inclusion.
It's all about the bottom line, but it's beautiful when the bottom line and doing the right thing morally are mutually beneficial.
The leadership level, the top tier of management, they have to be the ones setting the example, making clear that from their perspective, the company is going to move forward as a team, that everyone is included, and that LGBT individuals deserve the same rights, the same protections, the same benefits as anyone else.
if you are honest, if you are true to yourself, then it does pay you somewhere down the line.
Globally, the LGBT spending power is estimated at $3 trillion. In the US alone, it's $790 billion. That's roughly the GDP of Brazil. From a talent perspective, it's about 175 million, which is the population of Germany. And forward-thinking companies don't want to miss out on that opportunity.